It's time for Dodger Baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. Will Smith.
This is what an ace looks like.
And tagged out is Riley, a double play.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. So the Dodgers fall on opening day. They drop the opener against the Colorado Rockies 8-5 in a wacky game. We're going to break it all down. A lot went on in today's game against the Rockies. I guess the Dodgers have a World Series hangover or something. Is it time to push the panic button? Look, it's not go crazy. It's one game of 162 games. But the Dodgers were sloppy at times today defensively. They did not capitalize with runners on base. 24 base runners today for your boys in blue. 8 walks. Will Smith gets plunked there at the end. He had a real opportunity to get back into this game. And like I was saying, this is a wacky game that deserved a wild finish. But unfortunately, the Dodgers dropped their opener. And I feel re-energized. Look, I was getting soft. All this World Series celebration. Look, now I'm back. It's time to break down some Dodger baseball and find out what went wrong. We're talking about Zach McKinstry not getting the opportunity to hit there late in that game. Doc opts to go with Edwin Rios and Matt Beatty. Both of them strike out looking. We're going to break it all down. But first, you know we get down here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Let me know where you're rocking with us today. Let me get those zip codes, area codes. Drop those down below in the comments section. Where are you watching the Dodgers Nation post-game show? Well, we've got lots to get into, so let's get down with some Dodger baseball talk. Here we go. We got Rafael Santiago in for the first Fire Roberts comment. Hey, Dave Roberts, the much maligned Dave Roberts, is a guy who's had so much success on the field, but this year without the DH, you're going to have more opportunities to question his judgment, to question his managerial tactics. And today I think that when you saw what Zach McKinstry was able to do, he stroked a double into right field the inning prior, and you're going to get a quality at-bat out of Zach McKinstry. I like him in that spot. He's obviously someone who has a lot of success at Coors Field early in his career. I think he was feeling it, and it was set up for him to have a nice moment as a young player. I would have liked to see him in that spot. But we got D-Mac from my boy Anthony Keene over on Facebook. Messy, but definitely room for improvement from Eduardo Rosas. That is almost too rational of a take right there, but you're absolutely right. Messy, but you have some room for improvement. From the catchers today to the wild pitches from Scott Alexander and Jimmy Nelson to the error by Justin Turner and Corey Seager. Even the play with Mookie Betts where Owings got to triple, that was almost misplay. I think the wind was a factor on that play, but you're right. Lots to improve upon. Turner stinks. Disagree, but hey, guys, give me all your takes. All your hot takes, throw them in there. You got to get it out. This is your show. I'm the man of the fan, and I'm here to get all of your takes. So I don't care if I disagree with you. I want all your takes. We need stars. We got lots of stars. We had more stars than in the galaxy on this team, especially when you consider they signed Trevor Bauer this offseason. Andy Kohler was a sloppy game, but it's only one game coming off a weird spring and a weird last season. I don't think anything of this game means nothing. I wouldn't say it means nothing because every game counts the same, and you want to win as many games as you can, but I do think that the Dodgers are a team that's going to look back and say, we didn't play our best defense. We didn't capitalize when we had opportunities with runners on. And I think they're going to look back and say that maybe you would like to see Zach McKinstry in that spot, especially when you consider the spring that Edwin Rios had. He was dealing with a little minor injury. Matt Beatty, I would like to see first up than Edwin Rios in that spot, but I think you're right. I think that in the long run, we won't remember this one when the Dodgers are coasting in the NL West. I mean, look what the Padres did today. San Diego, first game, and in Colorado, so not too worried about it. Eduardo, shoot me, but that's the difference between having Kike or Jock available. First game, though, 161 to go. Look, I like I like Zach McKinstry in that spot. Look, Kike Hernandez, we know what he was able to do for this team. He can hit for power and give you the clutch moments like we saw in Game 7 of the NLCS. Even had a great hit to a clutch hit in the World Series, and throughout his career, he can get you those power. He can hit home runs and hit for power. But I do like the consistency that Zach McKinstry has the potential to bring. What was that we just watched? Daniel Doring. Yeah, what did you guys think about the play with Justin Turner and Cody Bellinger? We're going to get into that one because that was a wacky, wild play. It should have been a home run. It should have been his first belly bomb in the season. It goes as a single for Cody Bellinger. We're going to break that all down. But what did you guys think about that play there in the top of the third? So, Corey, let's jump into some more comments, and we'll break down the game here. Let me know where you represent Dodgers Nation from today. We got the 91016 from Homework. Norway, Josh Hickman, welcome all the way from Norway. Dan, we got from Connecticut. What up, Doug? Ryan Orion Montez. Madison, Wisconsin from Annette. Brazil, Casey Huling. It's Dodgers Nations today. Represent all over the world. Joey Sanchez over on YouTube from the 402 Lincoln, Nebraska. Humberto Ruiz from Mexicali. David, terrible game. Left too many base runners, and pitching was horrible too, but we gonna blame Seager for that error. Good thing first game is over now. Tomorrow, another day. Go Blue. Yeah, Corey Seager still had a really good day, but he'll tell you that he should have made that play. It was really a brain fart of an error by Corey Seager. Did kind of make up for it where he gets him at the plate to save a run for the Dodgers a few plays later, and he also had a solid game. So I'm not going to totally fault Corey Seager, but he'll be the first to tell you that is a play he makes 99.9% of the time. He ended up going 2 for 3 today, had an RBI and 2 walks. So all in all, a solid game for Corey Seager, but that's a play that he would like to have back, I guarantee it. Ryan O'Connor from Atlanta, Georgia. Homework, Dave Roberts isn't getting fired. Relax. Hey, Dave Roberts is going to have this job for a long time, I'm telling you. Frank Montoya, Cali bred, live in San Antonio, Texas now. Nomo FOMO. Hey, Doug, we back. What's up, Nomo FOMO? A day one here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. We're going to be rocking with you guys all season long. So as soon as the final out hits, be sure to join us for the Dodgers post-game show all season long. We got mental errors cost them today. Lou, Atberry, Kevin. We got AO X Cali watching our Dodgers in rural Illinois now. Sorry, losing to the Rockies. I like that. James Montoya Mora, Garden Grove OC, AC Glenn, Jesse from the 865 and the 805. I guess you got 2 cribs. Christina watching from the 559. Bill Levy, Roberts is a terrible manager. He left Kershaw in for too long, but his pitch count was low. Clayton Kershaw today. And I think there was a lot to build upon for Clayton Kershaw today. That slider did not have the depth and the bite that you wanted to see, but the fastball was better than it was in spring training where he was hitting 89 on the gun consistently. Today it topped out at 92 there in the first inning, but it was better than it was in spring training. Not as good as we saw early in the 2020 season when he had that uptick in velocity at 1.3 miles per hour uptick last season, but it was better than we saw it in 2019 when he had that bad dip where he had 4 consecutive years of diminished velocity. So Clayton Kershaw today, he pitched 5 2/3 innings, gave up 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, a walk, 2 punch-outs on 77 pitches. But of those 10 hits, 9 of them were singles. He had the 1 triple he gave up to Owings, and for the most part, look, this is a guy that you know you can trust on opening day at 1.05 opening day ERA. That is the lowest ERA in season openers since Bobby, with guys like Bob Feller and Jim Palmer. So he's definitely elite in that category. But I think that based on what we saw out of him in the spring, it wasn't his worst showing. But you saw some hard contact today, and you're going to see him get a better feel for that slider moving forward. That's really the difference with Clayton Kershaw. Hopefully, as he continues to ramp up and get that pitch count up, you'll also see that velocity also trend in the right direction. But let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys grade Clayton Kershaw's opening day start? Give me your grades down below in the comments section. I'm going to give it a C for Clayton Kershaw. The runs, 5 earned runs, 6 runs total. I wouldn't say he got shelled or he got rocked because he wasn't out there giving up a lot of extra base hits, but they were nickel and diming him to death today. But I think Clayton Kershaw, you saw, he had a really good inning. The second inning, he came out there, had some nice – so the second inning, he comes out there. He gets Diaz swinging for that first punch out of the year on a fastball. So there was a lot to like from Clayton Kershaw if you compare it to his spring training, but it's going to take some time, I think, to get him into the groove of the regular season. But not a good, messy game for sure from Homework. We got Mari, not a good game for us, but let's go ahead and hope they do better tomorrow. Go Dodgers. Yeah, I'm not worried at all whatsoever as far as the long-term results of this team. But look, hey, we're Dodger fans. You know how hard you guys fan, and you know how much you love your boys in blue. And after the 155 days of celebrating the World Series, does it kind of feel good to kind of have this rage about a loss again? I'm telling you, I feel alive again. I was getting soft celebrating that World Series. Now it's time to look at ways that we can improve upon. But this team still, you saw the base runners, you saw the hits, and there was a lot of pros in today's game. I mean, we could start with let's just jump into some more comments, and we'll break down the game a little more in a second. Umpire was brutal. That's from Ray Ebb. Yeah, I thought I was like, hey, man, give me some Angel Hernandez vibes out there today. You saw even on that last play where that last inning, a lot of high strikes, top of the zone. And, yeah, I did not like the umpire in this one. We got Anthony Keene, 3-1-0 all day, holding us down in the Bay. You go ahead and hold us down up in the Bay, my man Anthony Keene. Robert Rocha, Kershaw no longer has it. That's from Robert Rocha over on YouTube. Look, Clayton Kershaw, I think, is still going to be a very effective pitcher for the Dodgers this year. Do I think that it's going to be vintage Kersh, 2014 Cy Young caliber, MVP caliber? Look, I think those days are long gone, but he pitched very well last year in the postseason. He was consistent. And I think that this year, as long as he continues to trust his fastball, get that fastball command at an elite level and then also just utilize that slider, and of course he has the Uncle Charlie. So I do think that Clayton Kershaw is still going to have a very solid year for the Dodgers. I see him as anywhere from a top 20 to 25 pitcher. Does he have a chance to be elite again? I don't think so at this point in his career. Of course, I would love for that to happen, but this guy has nothing to prove. He has the ring, he has the MVP, he has the Cy Youngs, and also he had 2 hits today. Clayton Kershaw, or I should say Tony Crenshaw rakes 2 hits for Clayton Kershaw, and that was a great sight to see. Reminded me of the 2013 opener where he had the bomb to tie things up for the Dodgers against the Giants in the 8th. But here we got Alexander Rose. Kershaw looked fine to me. No homers given up. Yeah, that was a big thing too. He was getting hit hard. You did see hard contact, some loud outs against Clayton Kershaw today, but He was able to get out of some innings and really put out the fire in some innings where it could have got away from him. And you just look at that bottom of the 3rd inning. That was a crazy inning. And but yeah, Coors Field is cursed. We got Goodyear, AZ checking in, Santino Williams over on Facebook. Robert Rocha, Kershaw has no velocity anymore. Just talked about that a little bit. Corey and Lux was off today. Really? I mean, I think that Gavin Lux, you saw the first out he scores at 105.3 miles per hour off the bat. And then he ties it up with a single there later in the game. Gavin Lux today, he ends up going 2 for 4 with an RBI. Did Gavin Lux. So I think he looked really comfortable at the plate. And you see his swing. It just looks like more of a consistent, repeatable swing. It doesn't have as many moving parts as we saw early on last season. I think that you're going to see more consistency from Gavin Lux. I feel like he looked really comfortable at the plate. He looked like he's really settling in as a big leaguer. So I was totally fine with Gavin Lux today. And defensively, he was fine. He did ground to that double play there in the 2nd inning. But top of the 5th inning, he stroked that clean single to right, scored Cody Bellinger to tie things up at 2. So that was clutch for Gavin Lux, and that's definitely a promising sight. But here we go. Can Coors Field please cease to exist, please? Yeah, back up. That is like arena baseball on steroids. I mean, it's like arena football on steroids, but the baseball version, man. It's a circus at Coors. And look, I know if you got to bring in humidifiers or what do you have to do, but the good thing is the Dodgers, they have the offense to play with that kind of, they have the potent offense to match whatever the Rockies can bring to them, and they had that today for the most part. You saw that with the base runners today. You just didn't see too many extra base hits for the Dodgers. Mookie Betts, he doubled, McKinstry doubled, and then late Max Muncy, he was able to triple there late. Oh, and then, of course, there was the home run that was actually a single. So, look, I mean, I thought you would see the Dodgers slug a little more, but bottom line is they didn't capitalize with runners in scoring position. 14 runners stranded on base for the Dodgers today, and that is just not what you want to see. And 3 for 16 with runners in scoring position. So the Dodgers, they had their opportunities all day, every day, all day today. They just weren't able to capitalize. But we got Dodgers win the series. They won't like this performance either. Exactly, Ryan. Zach did great, though. I think he did really great. We got Joseph Magazzini, Downtown SA, DTSA. We got Jess, Kershaw's bat over Turner's. We got Ryan Moore. Thank God Buehler and Bauer are our next two starters. We got Joseph Magazzini, sloppy play. Yeah, definitely you saw they weren't as sharp as you would like them to see. It wasn't the defense that we saw at times last year where you have gold glove caliber outfield. I think that one play early on with Mookie Betts, you kind of would read that a little differently. But like I said, the wind was a factor on that play. But the Corey Seager one was just inexcusable. There's no way to defend that one. And, yeah, I think that you'll see even the bottom of the 8th, that throwing error by Justin Turner there, that wasn't sharp as well. The 5th inning, the Corey Seager's ball, it just kind of read the hop a little wrong, went under his legs. That led to a run as well. So definitely some sloppiness. We got bad base running by JT. We got, by the way, if you're watching the show on Twitter, be sure to share the show. And if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to share the show as well. And if you're watching on our YouTube channel, be sure to smash that like button over on YouTube and keep commenting away, guys. If you got some hot takes, throw those in there. We got Jorge Dodgers Chi-Town here from Chase Parker. If you're going to win 40 games and lose 40 games, it's the other 80. I'm not too concerned since our team knows how to win. Exactly, Bernie, over on Facebook. We got Patrick Gagne from the 626 in San Gabriel Valley. Dodgers were giving away runs and not enough offense on opening day. Vince, too many mistakes. Javier Umps killed the whole game. That call on Rios was ridiculous. Definitely a call that was borderline. In that case, if you're Edwin Rios, you do want to have a more aggressive approach at the plate, especially considering the circumstances. You got to jump on one like that. So, yes, it's a call that was borderline, but if you're Edwin Rios, he'll tell you didn't want to leave with a bat on your shoulder there. This is a guy who averages a home run every 10 and a quarter at-bats. I thought Rios was going to rock the Rockies, and they was going to tie the game up there. We'd probably win it in that 9th inning or in extras. But it wasn't the case, and like I said, lots of baseball left. I think Edwin Rios still needs to get going and get in the flow of things. Lancaster, California, Richard Hooker. We got Seager has his share of flows from Scott. We got, I think Cody is still broken. Alexander Rose. I love what I saw from Cody Bellinger today. He was 2 for 4. He had the single home run, I guess you want to call it. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Why don't we talk about that play with Cody Bellinger? Give me your take on that play. Do you think it's a dumb rule in that situation? I actually have the rule somewhere here, but it was just a play that the top of the 3rd inning. So Corey Seager grounded softly to first for the first out. Then Justin Turner, he pokes one through the shift into right for his first hit of the year. Then Bellinger, he hits one to left. It goes in and out of the glove of Tapia. Bellinger passes Turner on the bases. Bellinger was credited with the single because Justin Turner went because he crossed paths with Justin Turner. So technically, Justin Turner was able to score because the ball was out of play. And look, it was a wild play right there. And to me, I just hate that rule. I think that's a ridiculous rule. When the ball goes out, it is a home run, okay? That should just have been a home run for the Dodgers. That's 2 runs right there. And what I think really what happened on that play is Justin Turner, he was rounding second. He saw Tapia catch the ball for a second. He's hauling ass to first, trying to hustle back to avoid the double play. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, JT, you're going a little too fast. Don't go too hard on that hammy in game 1 of the season. We need you healthy for this season. But anyways, he's hustling back, and yeah, it was just I just don't like that rule. I mean, you would think that you would think that they would find a way to overcome that rule because this game needs more home runs. It needs excitement. You want to see the long ball, and in that situation, I don't see any reason to give him a single right there. But I think that's definitely what happened. Of course, Turner, he sees the ball go through Tapia's glove. He thinks that is possibly going to risk getting doubled up. And also, Cody Bellinger, give him credit too. He wasn't just sitting there trying to pimp his belly bomb. He was running too, thinking that if that goes off the wall, I'm going to be at second. Maybe Justin Turner's at third, or even scoring on that play. So if that was a Manny Machado on that play, I think Justin Turner doesn't cross paths possibly with Cody Bellinger or Manny Machado in that situation. And I think that it's still intact. But it was just kind of an unfortunate play. The Dodgers ended up losing 8-5. So I mean, they did get a run out of it, so it wasn't the difference in the game, but it was just a wacky play. And look, man, that's why you love baseball. You've seen 1,000 of these games, and then you see a play like that. It's just why this game is so great. But basically what it comes down to is I think that rule should be changed. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you think that rule needs to be changed in the rule book of Major League Baseball? I think I have the rules somewhere. I was reading it up on it, but yeah, it's Rule 509. A runner may be deemed to have passed a preceding, i.e. lead runner, based on his actions or the actions of a preceding runner. So there you have it right there. But Kershaw, C for pitching, A for batting. I like that. We got Jimmy Nelson giving off John Axford vibes. Yeah, Jimmy Nelson, I think some jitters, first game in a long time. He makes the opening day roster. He's going to be a long man, high leverage guy out of that bullpen, and he didn't have his best stuff. He didn't have the command, did Jimmy Nelson today, and that is unfortunate. But Jimmy Nelson, he ended up going just a third of an inning, had a strikeout, or no, he ended up going 2/3 of an inning, had 2 earned runs, 28 pitches, 15 for strikes for Jimmy Nelson, and then he had the wild pitches. 2 wild pitches for Jimmy Nelson. One of them looked like a cross-up. And, yeah, I think he'll only get better. Like I said, first game jitters at Coors Field. That is not where you want to start your comeback season. That's not where you want to start your comeback pitching at Coors Field after such a long layoff. But here we go. Excited for Bauer outage, Tim. Marco Rubio. Turner set all the failures. Ryan Muir just right. No mofomo. Damn. Is Barnesy hurt? That's a good question because you know that he's a tough guy. You know that nothing can keep him out. I do think it looked like he jammed his thumb on the play. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the Dodgers will do. Will this mean we'll see some Keibert Ruiz? You saw what his bat was capable of in spring training. So, hey, that could be a good thing as far as the Dodgers offense goes. But you know these Dodger pitchers love throwing to Austin Barnes. So we'll have to find out how that works. Or we'll have to get an update on that as soon as it's available. But Kershaw is still elite from Richard. Non-opening day starter Buehler was snubbed. That's from Matt Wright. Do you think that Walker Buehler should have been the starter for opening day? I think it's more of a ceremonial. It's more ceremonial. It's a way just to get things kicked off. And I think Clayton Kershaw, you never know. He talked about in the offseason that he was unsure of his future. Then he kind of backpedaled on that. So I think, look, to me, it's more of just a way to honor Clayton Kershaw, everything he's done for this franchise, and he's the guy you want to go out there. I had no issue with him getting the start. But, and then look, I mean, the win for Walker Buehler when he starts is going to count the same as the opening day win. I mean, as far as morale goes, maybe you want to consider that, but I had no issue with it. Tomorrow the Dodgers are going to drop bombs on the Rockies, and Bauer will dominate. We got Kershaw getting out of some innings is like saying a serial killer did not kill anyone. Steven Fisher, I like that. Gavin Lux did fine from Josh Padilla. Nobody really showed up today. Long season, short memories. Yeah, that's the mentality you have to have in a long baseball season. We got Roberts and his player substitutions, always sus, from Tim over on YouTube. Attacking Kershaw's first pitch had been the MLB strategy since 2016. Absolutely. You've seen more teams go to that, especially when you see his fastball is where it is. I mean, that's definitely one thing they're trying to do. Robert Rams, we got fire Roberts, JK, April Fools. No, it's not a poor excuse. It's facts. We got our defense will find its rhythm as the season goes on. Anthony King. Everyone did good individually for the most part. Just some sloppy plays and leaving too many on. Absolutely. World Series hangover, Tim. Yeah, World Series hangover. I mean, what are we going to do now, right? I mean, no, look, this is if you were still glowing from that World Series, it's time to get back in the action. It's time to put 2020 behind us. All that glory, it was great. First World Series title in 32 years, but we have to go back to back. This is the road to repeat. Hashtag road to repeat, and it starts today. It's not going to be easy for this Dodger team. On paper, they have more talent than any team in Major League Baseball, but they have to go out there and execute and beat other big leaguers. So it's going to be a long season. It's not going to be a cakewalk. That's why I see all these people out there predicting the Dodgers will beat the Seattle Mariners' 116-game single-season record, the Chicago Cubs from 1908. I don't see it. I think the Dodgers end up somewhere around 104 wins. I got the Dodgers winning 104 games this season. The over-under in Vegas is 102.5. Let me know down below in the comments. Will the Dodgers go over or under that 102.5 win projection? Let me know down below in the comment section. I think they will go just over at 104 games, but I don't think they'll get to 116 or 110 or anything in that range. I think that the Dodgers, what they set in 2019, will remain with 106 wins. So I think that the Dodgers are going to be fine too. I think that that's going to be good for the Dodgers. You don't want to peak in the regular season. You want to peak in October. And the reason I feel that way, of course, the Dodgers have this potent offense, but I still think there's a lot of questions with this Dodgers bullpen. You saw what happened with Jimmy Nelson today, with Scott Alexander, with how sharp is he going to be. I think that until this bullpen proves that it can lock down innings late, then I think that I question that whether we're going to make a run at this all-time record. I think it's going to be 104 games, but I want your prediction down below in the comments, guys. Drop those down below. Matty Man Rios won't be in the big leagues in a month. We got Ali. The umps missed a good game today. I like that. Joseph Gonzalez, if Betts would have hit a ninth-inning grand slam, then this would have been a very different postgame. Joseph Gonzalez, I was praying. I was praying to the baseball gods. Let's just get a grand slam for Mookie Betts. Let's just get that grand slam from Mookie Betts, close it out in the bottom of the ninth, and celebrate on opening day. But look, nothing comes easy for the Dodgers. You know that. Even last year's World Series run, we had to come back trailing 3-1. Lots of adversity. So I never expected it to be easy for the Dodgers, and I still think they'll at least split, most likely take 3 out of 4 in this series. You got Bauer outage, Buehler and Urias goes, 2-3 frontline starters following your number one starter. So you still have to feel really good about the Dodgers in this series. But that rule is stupid from Fernando Garcia. I don't know why JT just ignored Belly. It's like scoring in your own goal from Anthony Keene over on Facebook. Yeah, I've watched the play a couple times. It's almost funny to see it. He's just storming past him, and Bellinger is running past him. In that you would think that, if they stop each other, he gives them a warning, yells at them, but it was a bang-bang play. It's the first game of the season. It was a unique play. And look, you really just got to blame Tapia for not catching it, man. Come on, that would save all this confusion. Also, Cody Bellinger is known to have some confusing home runs every now and then. You saw his walk-off, I think, against the Rockies last year, where he was unsure if it was a home run, and the whole gang was just like bouncing up and down with their socially distant celebration at home plate. So, look, it was a strange play. You won't forget. It did happen a couple years ago, if you remember, but it's not something you see every day. Let's go Dodgers. We got, do you think they should get Juan Soto? Nunez, we'll see. I think that the Nationals are going to try to lock him up. They'll try to sign him to a long-term deal. We'll see what happens with Juan Soto, but, at the end of the day, we already have, to me, the best right fielder in the game, and we'll see in Mookie Betts. So I think that when you think about it, I don't know. It seems like every team, every franchise wants to link the Dodgers. But, think about it. You got the best right fielder in the game in Mookie Betts. I think Cody Bellinger has the potential to be the best center fielder in the game once again this year. And then imagine Juan Soto as the Dodgers left fielder. That would just be crazy. He plays a good left field. So it really, obviously you would always want a player like Juan Soto who's on a trajectory to where he could be a special player and have a special career. He's already just raked in his young career, putting up crazy numbers. But, back into the comment section right here. Would you guys like to see Juan Soto on the Dodgers? Let me know down below in the comments section. We got it was bleeding. We got that game really hurt. That game really hurt you, Jordan. We got a B for Maddie for Kershaw. We got game 1 of 162, y'all. Relax. My man Eddie over on Periscope. My man Eddie, he designs all the logos for the show. He's a legendary graphic designer. Go follow him at The Real Me 3. So definitely check that out. We got 104 is reasonable from Laura Quintana. A sale loaner, I'd take the over, but all we got to do is get in the playoffs, then go to work. Absolutely a sale loaner, but I do want home field advantage, especially when you consider the fact the Dodgers won the World Series on the road in Arlington, Texas. Dodgers haven't won a Fall Classic at home since 1963. I think that's what this team wants to do and celebrate in front of 56,000 Dodger fans at the Ravine. Of course, you can still make that happen if you don't have home field advantage, but you want to have a maximum number of home field games at your ballpark. But Kershaw should become a reliever. All right, that's a hot take right there, man. That's a fire take right there. Kershaw should become a reliever. That's from my man Obey Glick City right there. Man, you're bringing the heat with that one. I don't think you'll ever see that from Clayton Kershaw. He said he wants to play for a long time. I doubt you'll see him as a reliever. And I just don't think that even his pitching style would be good in that role. Laura, Belly will have revenge guaranteed, and we'll get a home run eventually. I like that, too. Yeah, he's got to make up for that home run. What if he ends up with like 73 home runs this year and falls 1 home run shy of breaking Barry Bonds' home run record? Who knows? I mean, that'd be insane, wouldn't it? Juan Soto is awesome. You so Maine, ban me. Okay. No one gets banned here, man, unless you say some really crazy stuff that's extremely inappropriate. But all your takes are welcome here. That's what's different about this show. It's about you guys getting all your Dodger takes across, even if I don't agree with them. But the hotter the take, the better. And the bullpen, too. I was there, Game 7, 2017. Never forget. We do not need to bring that up, please. No, but John Guerrero, I found you. You did. What up, John Guerrero? We got Jerson, 14 runners left on base. No bueno. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, that the Dodgers definitely didn't capitalize with their opportunities today. 161 games left. Don't worry. That's from Alan German 3 over on Periscope. Yeah, it's the mentality there. Look, but every game hurts. I don't care. And look, you guys are hardcore baseball fans. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be here. And you know that you guys probably take any loss pretty bad. To me, I hate to lose more than I like to win. And I think you're probably the same way out there. And this team had their opportunities today. And look, you just want to win. You want to tell the Rockies that this is our division. We're going to We're going to win our 9th straight division title. You want to send a message, but don't worry, the Dodgers are going to win this series. I'm very confident in that. And I think that they're going to clean up their defense. And I think that they're going to take advantage of their opportunities on offense today that they didn't get. So, last place world champs from Tony Cortez. Jack, just a tough start, but hopefully it's a bit of a jump start, wanting to push them back and not have a game as bad as this. Michelle Carter, I had no idea the MLB was so progressive, hiring a blind umpire like that. Really cool of them. Michelle Carter, you're killing me with that one. They played sloppy. Daniel Smart, yo, D-Mac, can I get a shout-out as a Dodger fan? Yo, D-Mac, can I get a shout-out to us Dodger fans in Seattle? What up, Daniel Smart? How's it going, man? Big shout-out from the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for rocking with us. We got Michelle Moore, and this loss doesn't reflect the value of this team. 161 more games. Lauren Alvarado, we all cried when we won the World Series because we're used to heartbreak. It's Game 1. This won't break us. Absolutely. Nothing can break a Dodger fan. We've been through it all. We've seen it all, the good times and the bad times. This is just one game. It's opening day. It was actually the first time the Dodgers opened up on the road in 5 years. So were they accustomed to that? A little different. Usually you're at Dodger Stadium with the wedding gown whites. You see the bunting. You got the flyovers. It's more of a spectacle. It was nice to see those fans in the stands. Joe Davis mentioned it a bunch of times. Hearing that buzz in the stands was absolutely fantastic again. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if any of you guys were at the game. It seemed like there was a large contingency of Dodgers Nation in the house at Coors Field to witness that one. Did JT not see Belly running during that home run? That's a good question. I'm interested to see what he has to say after the game. I'm sure he'll be asked that, hopefully by one of our senior editors here, Clint Pasillas or Brooke Smith. Maybe they'll ask him that question. I love seeing Kersh hit today. It's going to be fun seeing that throughout the year. Yeah, it was kind of cool. I mean, look, I'm more of a fan of National League Baseball because it's more complicated. It's chess versus checkers. There's more decisions to be made, but I also side with the pitchers, and if they don't want to bat, I understand. You want to keep them healthy. But, look, it is kind of cool to see him out there, and it's just like it's nice to see Clayton Kershaw make the most of it. And like I said, Tony Crenshaw rakes. But we got hate to lose, more I love to win. Exactly. Great line from Brad Pitt from Moneyball. Classic movie, seen it a trillion times. I read the book. The book's really good, too. Nicholas Andrew, I was in the car in the Jimmy Nelson inning. How bad was he? Waiting for the highlights. So, Jimmy Nelson, he's dealt with a lot of injuries. Shoulder. I mean, this guy has gone through a lot to get back in the bigs, let alone make an opening day roster and pitch for the reigning world champions on opening day. But it wasn't his best showing. But he had nice life on that fastball. On the strikeout, he touched 94 on it, but wasn't commanding that breaking ball like you want to see if you're Jimmy Nelson. So in that inning, Dodgers had a real opportunity to keep it close. And you saw what happened that last inning when Bard came in. The Dodgers, Muncy gets the leadoff triple. You saw Will Smith Chris Taylor takes the walk. Will Smith, he gets plunked. So they had an opportunity to pour it on late, and we saw last season, 7 innings and on, the Dodgers knew how to put in runs and win games in the clutch. And then the year before that, you had like 12, 13 walk-offs. So this team knows how to win late. But that's why it's important for some of these middle relievers, guys like Jimmy Nelson coming in, keeping things tight, going out there and giving you clean innings. But I'm not too worried yet when it comes to Jimmy Nelson. I still like him as a long man. I think that he's a guy that can give the Dodgers extended relief out there, but definitely wasn't his best showing in his first stint back with the Los Angeles Dodgers. But yeah, when it comes to Jimmy Nelson, we were talking about it a little earlier. He just wasn't throwing strikes enough today, and that was kind of the issue. Had 2 wild pitches. That definitely hurt. So not his best work for Jimmy Nelson. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you think he's the long-term answer for the Dodgers? There's going to be some options when Brusdar Gratterall's ready. You still have Dennis Santana down there. So there is definitely some options for the Dodgers. But I think they're going to give him a real long look, and I think that the issue with him, he was just leaving a lot of meat over the plate. I mean, they're even lucky that he got out of that inning without giving up more runs. If you want to break down the inning, bottom of the seventh for Jimmy Nelson. Story fouled to third for the first out. Blackman walked. Crone doubled to deep center. Then he strikes out Diaz for the second out. And then Nelson threw a wild pitch. It bounces off the backstop, and Barnes tried to get it. He went right to him. He tries to get Crone out at the plate, gets banged up on the play, and he looks like I said, he might be injured. We'll see if he'll have a stint on the IL. Looks like he might have jammed that thumb, maybe hit his head. I'm not so sure what happened, but he leaves the game. The Fresh Prince comes in, and then Nelson, he walks Owings. And his day was done. Scott Alexander came in, but too many wild pitches, not enough strikes, and I think that he has a lot to build up, lot to refine as the season goes along. Just his first appearance after being out for an extended period of time, didn't pitch at all last season. So unfortunate for him. But here we go. We got. We need the return of Fight Club Joe Kelly from Anthony Keene. Crew Jones. Kershaw should not have hit or pitched in the 6th. I mean, the pitch count was really low. I think he had 77 pitches today, and the velocity was still hovering around 90, 91, 90, high 90, pretty much 90 miles per hour, 90, 91. And he was starting to really, if you look at the bottom of the 5th inning, you can make the case that he left Kershaw out there for too long, but the pitch count was low. He's built up for 80 pitches or so, maybe 80, 88 pitches, and you want to continue that growth early in the season. So I'm not too concerned with that. To me, I think that when it comes to Clayton Kershaw, it was just finishing off hitters with that slider today. It did not have the depth, the bite that you want to see from it, like we saw in Game 1 of the World Series. And I think that he's only going to get better. Just his first start, I think you'll see the velocity just kind of gradually grow. I don't know if he's going to get closer to what he was throwing last season, but I'm not too worried about Kershaw yet. We got Moose. What's up from Periscope, Dougie? Daniel Smart. What up? What's going on, Moose? Daniel Smart, who do you think will be our biggest problem this season? I say Braves be hard to beat, but also the Blue Jays too. That's if they make the playoffs. I think the Braves are going to be very tough. I think the Braves, a potent offense, the top of that order, especially considering they brought back Ozuna. I think they have a really potent top of that lineup. And then we saw their pitching is only going to get better. So I definitely think the Braves are a team that, look, top 10, definitely a top 10 staff, a top 10 bullpen, and a potent offense. And they have some depth now. Will they compete with the Dodgers? I think it's going to be a rematch. I think there's no question about it. It's going to be a rematch. for the in the NLCS. I'm calling it right now. I think it's going to be Braves versus the Dodgers, and they're going to go into that series knowing they're going to want some payback after they let that one get away against the Dodgers. If it wasn't for Big Willie style Will Smith on Will Smith going deep there in Game 5, maybe they would be the reigning World Series champions. But you got to love the grit and tenacity, the determination of this Dodger club to make that happen. But guess what? The Braves, they're a great team. They're a team that's going to compete for the World Series. They also lost today to the Philadelphia Phillies. So just some perspective, it is just one game. The Dodgers are going to be fine. Nothing too concerning today, nothing too alarming. But back into the comments section. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good look. The breaking balls just don't have the same effect in Colorado. And Colorado's always been somewhat of a bugaboo for Clayton Kershaw in his career at Coors Field. Hasn't been quite the house of horrors, but we've seen some rough outings for Kersh when it comes to Coors Field. But then again, who hasn't? Actually, maybe if you're Hideo Nomo, he threw a no-hitter there, the only no-hitter at Coors Field in 1996. Daniel Smart, no, it's going to be Mets versus Dodgers. Braves ain't nothing, bro. That's from Daniel Smart, so you're calling right now. Give me your World Series predictions and your NLCS predictions if you want to throw those out too. Throw those down below in the comment section. I didn't like Nelson. He shouldn't pitch any crucial game. That's from Juan. Carlos, J. Faz, championship hangover. This ain't Camelback Ranch, SMH. We got Eddie. If you're not with us in the bad games, don't celebrate us when we win. Hey, you know, that's look, you guys, some people take losses harder than others, and it's all good. I mean, look, to me, you guys can fan how you want to fan, get down. I'm all for it, but look, we're going to have lots of wins this year, and those are far going to outweigh the losses. But we are going to microanalyze the losses because this team, the expectations are what they are. This is the team that has the chance to be the first team to go back-to-back since the 2000 Yankees and the first National League team to go back-to-back in 43 years since the 1976 Big Red Machine Cincinnati Reds. So this team's expectations are sky high. So best believe we will break it all down if they're not playing up to expectations. But Ryan, Dodgers versus Yankees in the World Series. Daniel Smart, NLCS, Dodgers versus Mets. World Series, Dodgers versus Yankees or Dodgers versus Jays. You're very high on the Blue Jays. Who won that game today, by the way? I didn't get to see the end of it. Should let Zach McKinstry hit in the ninth instead of Beatty. Yeah, we talked about that quite a bit. There was a double switch in play, I believe, and he already came to the game as part of that double switch, if I'm not mistaken. Jumped on here right after that. But I think that Zach McKinstry, he looked confident at the plate. He just stroked a fastball into right field for a double. That's where he made his. And I think that I would have liked to see him because, look, you want to get these players battle-tested early. And if he's going to play that role, the Kike Hernandez role, where you expect him to come up clutch in the postseason, you got to give him opportunities to be clutch. And I think that was a perfect opportunity, a young player in Zach McKinstry, who there's been a lot of pressure because everyone says he's going to be that super utility guy, a guy that can play outfield, infield, third base, second base, multiple positions, just like Kike did, but as a lefty with a more consistent at-bat. I think that his strike zone awareness is better than Kike Hernandez. Doesn't swing that big, heavy bat like Kike does. So I think he has the opportunity to hit for average, something in the high twos, 275, 280, 290, and then also give you some power. I don't know if he's going to hit for the same power in situations like Kike is, but like I said, I'm with you on that. I would like to see ZMac_LA in that situation, no question. Yeah, I just don't trust Beatty. Yeah, that was not a good at-bat for the Mad Baby there. The hitman, if you're going to go up there, you got to try to hit, okay? You can't strike out with the bat on your shoulder like he did in that situation. And Edwin, Matt, if you look at the top of the ninth, leadoff triple for Max Muncy. He ripped that slider to right. First triple for Max Muncy since 2019. Then on a 3-1 pitch. We're talking about the umpiring today. CT3 thought he had drawn that walk. It was a borderline strike at the top of the zone. He ends up coming back, walks anyway. That gives the Dodgers runners on the corners with Edwin Rios representing the tying run at the plate. Rios strikes out looking for the first out of the inning. Then Bard, he lets one get away and hits Will Smith to load the bases. Then Matt Beatty, he looks at strike three with the bat on his shoulder. And then we saw how the game ended with Mookie Betts. He ends up popping out for the last out. But, yeah, I mean, we'll hear what look, Bard, he's a guy, one thing to consider, Bard is a guy who has a very nice heater. I mean, you saw him he was pumping 98. He might have touched 99, but mostly 97, 98 there. And Matt Beatty, he loves fastballs. He feasts off fastballs. And I think they're also showing that they're going to give Matt Beatty a real opportunity early in this season to prove that he can play that role, to prove that he can come out there and give you big hits from the left side and clutch hits like we saw in 2019, where he can come out there and give you hits, and you can leave him out there on defense as well. But I think that looking back, I think Zach McKinstry, there's just something about the guy. He looks like he's going to give you – his bat-to-ball skills are much better than I think Matt Beatty's are in the long run. So at that point, when you're in Coors Field, you don't even need a home run, okay? Yes, you can get a home run, but you don't even need a home run. You just need to pass the baton and keep the rally going. And I think that's why I want to see Zach McKinstry up in that spot over Matt Beatty. D-Mac, Dodgers versus Mariners, April 20th. I will be there. Don't worry. I'll be representing in Seattle. Yes, sir. Daniel Smart, you better be repping our boys in blue up there in the Emerald City. But Beatty didn't even swing. Dodgers Glizzy. We got Zach, looked good. Yes, he did. Dodgers Glizzy over on Periscope. Marco Rubio, I just don't trust Beatty. We got Marco Rubio. You can't step there. You can't stop their pitch. You can't stop their pitch hitting and look 3 pitches and let runners like that. Yeah, kind of what we were just saying. You don't want to strike out in that situation with the bat on your shoulder. You want to be aggressive. You want to try to get that bat on the ball, especially when you consider what this umpire was doing all game long. Greetings from Colorado. What's up, Andres? Brian Alex. Hey, Doug, you run. Hey, Doug, you back. Let's run it back this year. Dodgers 21 champs. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Brian. I am back. We are going to run it back. The road to repeat, #road to repeat, started today. And it's going to be a long road. It's going to be a fun road. And I think we'll end up in another World Series for your boys in blue. But how did the bullpen do today? Greetings from Chile, my friend Benjamin Salas over on YouTube. I think for the most part, when you break down the bullpen, I liked what I saw from Corey Knebel. He came in there, he faced one hitter, but that velocity definitely had the life to it. You saw the life back on that heater. He was pumping 97, throwing it by guys, getting that missing bats, and that I think is something that this bullpen was sorely missing. He comes in and I really like what I saw from him today. When it came to Jimmy Nelson, I think that he left some to be desired. He has stuff to work on, and it's understandable. Look, first game back from a long layoff, and you come in there against the Colorado Rockies, and he's going to need his breaking stuff. He's going to need to work that in there, and that's not where you want to have your debut, or work your breaking stuff in at Coors Field. So it was unfortunate for him, and look, he hadn't pitched since 20. It's been a while. So unfortunately for him, he hasn't pitched since I think it was 2019. So you miss a full year, it's going to take some time. Just look at Corey Knebel. It takes 2 years for a lot of these injuries to really start feeling comfortable out there on the mound. To me, it looks like Corey Knebel is comfortable out there. Scott Alexander, he's Scott Alexander. Like I said, I call him Alexander the average at best. And I don't think that he's going to fill a huge role for the Dodgers. I do like him as a matchup guy against lefties. Lefties hit 56 against him last season. But a couple of questions for you guys. What time are we at? Let's see. We're at 47 minutes. Before we head out, I want to get your season predictions. Who will be your team MVP this season? I already got your records. I already got give me your team MVP and your team Cy Young Award winner all-star. I'm going to go with Mookie Betts. I thought about taking Corey Seager, and I think Corey Seager is going to have a fantastic year. I think he's going to hit 42 home runs. But I think Mookie Betts, he said he had a serviceable year last year, and I think he worked all season to really get back to being MVP winning Mookie Betts. He fell just short behind Freddie Freeman. You saw they batted him second at times early in the season against righties. But I think that he's going to get back to being 2018 Mookie Betts. I really do. I think you'll see him. Look, his MVP season, he slashed 346, 438, 640, had an OPS over 1,000, 32 home runs. I think this year he's going to get back to having an OPS over 1,000. I think you'll see him hit 36 home runs, which would be a new career high for Mookie Betts, and he has an impact all over the field. defensively, in the clubhouse. I think he's the guy that will take home the MVP award, and he'll be the first guy to win an MVP in both leagues since Frank Robinson. Frank Robinson is the first to do it and the only to do it. And I think that you're going to see an improvement against lefties this year against for Mookie Betts. Last season, he hit 200, no jacks against lefties. For his career, he's a 297 hitter with 34 bombs and 805 at-bats. I think this offseason he put in work in that category, and I think that he's going to be my MVP. I got the Mookster. Now, when it comes to let me read some of your guys. Who do you guys have as your team MVP before we head out of here? By the way, if you want to do me a huge favor, subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. We just dropped our new I just dropped a hype video today. Go check out the new hype video over there. It's called The Road to Repeat. My man Eddie, the legend, he did the graphic on the thumbnail, which is super sick. You should follow it on Instagram. You can make that your lock screen or something because it is a sick wallpaper on that, a sick graphic. We got Belly MVP and Urias Cy Young from Joey Sanchez. We got calling balls and strikes was horrible today. That's from Carnivorous Lunar Activity. I like that. I like that. Charles, team MVP. Bellinger, Cy Young, Buehler. Okay, I like that. Yeah, Bellinger was impressive today. He really was. I liked his swing. I liked his approach. Mookie still for MVP for me from Lauren Quintana. Yes, love the comeback hype for Belly. Love for him to be in contention too. Yeah, wouldn't that be great if you had Dodgers fighting for the same MVP award? Not necessarily fighting, but on a day-to-day basis have to monitor their stats because they're going against each other. This team has that kind of talent, and if Cody Bellinger can get close to the 2019 Cody Bellinger or even an evolved Cody Bellinger, I think you could see that too. And then there's just so much talent with Corey Seager, who's in a platform season. And I think that this guy is focused, ready to roll, and ready to prove that he's the best hitting shortstop in the game. Defensively, I don't think he's in the conversation. But this guy, like I said, I call him Corey Slugger for the way that he can rake. And I think he's going to have a big season. But that game was a sick April Fool's joke from Deborah Young over on YouTube. Sean, Mookie will be team MVP. Avas, is it time for the robo-ump D-Mac? That's a good question. Look, I've gone back and forth when it comes to the robo-ump. And I think that if you're going to have a robo-ump on every pitch, it kind of takes the human element out of the game. And that's what I love about baseball. Imagine, I like that, look, the baseball is a long season, so it lends itself to different moments, whether it be the manager arguing with umpires. And I'm going to miss that. And just having a more nuanced game because umpires have different strike zones. Because you remember, it goes both ways for the most part if they remain consistent. I would like to see a system where you kind of merge both of them. You kind of fuse them together where you have umpires, but they're aided by the robo-ump. That there is a way that you could challenge certain calls on the diamond, certain balls and strikes calls. Let's say if it's a play as for a strikeout, like if it's a strike 3 call, that you can challenge it in that situation, maybe something like that, because you don't extend the length of the game. That's pretty much all Rob Manfred cares about, is he wants games to be like 15 minutes long. And if you have challenges to robo-umps and the human element, you do have the potential of having a game that's even longer than it is now. Last season, game was just over 3 hours. I think it was like 3 hours and 15 minutes, something like that. But I think that, look, I'm interested in the robo-ump. I do want to see it as a part of the game, and they can have it just like we have today. You saw them overturn one on the Justin Turner error, the throwing error. That was an overturn there. I think I want to see some challenges. I want to see the game evolve, because the idea of a human being back there that he's going to get every ball and strike right, I think it's unfair to the umpire, especially when we have the technology that we have today. But are you guys in favor of robo-umps? Let me know down below in the comment section. Enrique, going Mookie as well. Hopefully we get odd-year Belly, though. Hey, look, today was a good sign. He should have a home run. It should be home run Bellinger. Buehler for me, for Lauren Quintana. Dylan Katina, I want to go with Buehler too. I picked him up on my fantasy team, not going to lie. I already root for my Dodgers, but now I got Dodgers on my fantasy team, so that takes my rooting interest to a whole nother level. I think Butane is going to do his thing. I think that he realizes that the Dodgers, they made the big splash to sign Trevor Bauer, who won last year's Cy Young, and he wants to go out there and prove that, no, I am the best pitcher on this staff. You know that this guy is very competitive. He's got that fire, that demeanor on the mound, and I think he's going to get off to a quick start. We saw him in 2019 get off to a slower start. I think he's out there to prove that he's a complete pitcher, wire to wire. I think that he is going to be, as I agree with you on that, I think he's going to be the Cy Young as far as the starters go. I think that Julio Urias is going to be – I think that Buehler will be the Cy Young as far as the Dodgers Cy Young, but I think that Julio Urias is going to impress with his consistency throughout the year. I think that he is primed to have a big season for the Dodgers, and I think that he's going to have a season that's going to – I think that one of my bold predictions is I have Julio Urias making the All-Star team. I think that Julio Urias, the Urias, will be on the 2021 All-Star team for the Dodgers, and I think that he's going to make it close between him, Buehler, Bauer, and we'll see Dustin May. Don't forget about Dustin May. And look, hey, Clayton Kershaw will still be in the mix. I think he's going to have a very solid year if he can stay healthy. And first 162-game season after a 60-game season, so that's not a given. But I think he's going to have a solid year. And I think this is one of the best staffs in baseball, as you know. Just one fantasy team, lightweight. I got a couple, man. Trust me. I got the burner ones too, man. I do drafts with robots, man. With people I don't even know. I do the but you should join me to your league at Sale Loaner. I like it though. I think Johnny J5. I like it. Johnny J5 for Robo Ump. By the way, man, I feel like that inspired Wally, don't you think? But Johnny 5, used to love him as a kid. That was my jam. Lauren Quintana, of course, I think Betson, Siegs, and Belly will all be all-stars, absolutely. We got D-Mac, who is better, Mookie or Mike Trout? That's from Daniel Smart. Look, I'm the biggest Mookie Betts fan in the world. There's no question about it. But Mike Trout is, to me, he's the LeBron James of baseball as far as the player of his generation. It's a travesty. He's only played in 3 postseason games back in 2014. Last year, you can say he had a down year as far as Mike Trout standards goes, but just look at the numbers. I mean, he is the WAR king for a reason. And right now, I'm not ready to. If Mookie can OPS over 1,000 and gave you 36 home runs this year, like I project him to have, then I think you have the conversation. But I definitely think that right now you still got to give the title to Mike Trout. But you just want to be in the conversation. Mookie Betts is definitely one of the best players in the game. I think this year you're going to see more power, more consistency against left-handed pitching for Marcus Lynn Betts. And like I said, by the end of this season, we'll see. By the end of the season, we'll see if it's a conversation to be had. But you also have to include Juan Soto in that mix. Juan Soto don't play, man. Juan Soto is a straight baller. And look, man, 2019 hurt, but real recognized real. You got to give him his credit. Soto is a beast. Mookie Betts is my favorite player. That's from Bradley Mann 124 over on YouTube. Bauer will win NLCS or World Series MVP this year. That's from Sawyer F. I like that. Coming in hot with the hot takes. And yeah, I mean, give me your flaming hot takes, guys. This is really what this show is for, and to me it makes it even more entertaining. The extra innings rules are an abomination, kid stuff. The L wins are garbage. And here we go. Oh, there we go. We got Marco Rubio, video game controller throws a face down tantrum, be the world's rage out. But yep, guys, we'll be back too. I'm pretty sure our next show is Sunday. We're gonna probably try to do it. It was 3 times a week last year. I think we're going to probably add some more shows. We'll see how it goes down. But be sure to rock with us all season long. We're going to take it to a new level this year with your fan involvement because we have the podcast that's going to accompany the show. And subscribe to the podcast. It's the Dodgers Dugout Podcast, spelled like your boy. It's spelled like my name, D-O-U-G. And what I do there is we condense the show into a podcast form, and we get all your best takes, and we're going to throw them on there. So be sure to come with your hot takes all season long, guys. But how many more minutes we got here? Getting close to an hour. Couple reminders. Head over to gearup.la. Go to gearup.la for your Dodgers Nation merch. The best Dodgers t-shirt designs in the game over at gearup.la. So go get your Dodgers drip. Today I've got my Mookie Betts LFG shirt. Definitely one of my favorites, designed by my man Eddie, the Real Me 3. Follow him over on Twitter and IG too. Also, be sure to tune into the Blue Heaven podcast. That is the flagship show hosted by the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation, Clint Pasillas and Brooke Smith. You're going to want to tune in for that Mondays. I think they'll be adding some more shows, but get geared up. And the big one is to subscribe to that YouTube channel over at Dodgers Nation, over at youtube.com/Dodgers Nation TV. It's the fastest growing Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. And we just added that new hype video today. We got the interviews, podcasts, analysis, all season long breakdowns. So be sure to subscribe to that. But here we go. Be good. Kershaw will drop from the rotation in 2021. That's from Charles Julian. Be good, Dodger fans. Let's get him tomorrow. Been here on Facebook since 2020, bro. Never knew about you guys till last year. Well, thanks for rocking with us, Daniel. Hello from Australia. Love my boys in blue. That's Dylan. He gets to see the Giants season go down the drain the opposite direction over in Australia. No mo FOMO. Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, thanks for rocking with us here, guys. First episode of the regular season. Yes, the Dodgers lost today, but we know we're going to have a great season, especially with you guys here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. See you guys next time. And until next time, what was it here? Oh, that was funny. That comment threw me off. But yeah, see you guys next time. But until next time, think blue.